I knew that if you stayed 7 years, you got tenure, so nobody had mentioned anything about me staying, so I started looking around for job opportunities. And one day I was gone for an interview, actually for a company that I would have gone to work for. I had a job offer and I would have taken it, I think. So Alderman Coleman asked me where I'd been. We spent every day together working on our classes. And I told him, and he looked like he was shocked, and he took off for the dean's office, and the next thing I knew, the dean told me that I was going to receive an appointment as associate professor and I would be receiving tenure. So that's sort of how my academic career, I guess, got started and stayed.
When I first came here, the children, a couple of them weren't born, but one was born. As they grew older, for over 2 or 3 years, when I'd go to work or go to the office, we didn't say, well, Dad's going to the office or I'm going to the office. It's always, I'm going to school. And most nights I went back to school as well. And so one day one of the children says, when's Dad going to quit going to school and go to work? Well, not many people get an opportunity to go to school, to the same school, for 42 years.
C. Ray Smith was a faculty colleague, a leader of Darden, a mentor, and a friend. He was easy to approach, always made time to talk, and gave excellent advice. A good coach, he reliably affirmed your work and at the same time raised your attention to higher performance. Like any good case teacher, Ray didn't simply say what had to be done. Instead, he asked questions in a way that helped you find your own solutions. His counsel was so reliable that even during my decade as Dean of Darden, I made it a point to have lunch with Ray about once a month. Ray was one of the serious culture carriers among the Darden faculty. In the classroom, he modeled the Socratic method and the deep engagement between instructor and students. When asked to assume administrative responsibilities, he said yes. Indeed, over his 42 years on the faculty, he held every important administrative position at Darden, including serving as interim dean 3 times. He never lusted after the limelight, but also never shrank from difficult decisions. Ray Smith left a solid legacy of leadership, values, and teaching, all of which strengthened the Darden community and prepared the school for continued advancement.
C. Ray was a great savior for me in my first year at Darden in 1977, having come from 6 years of working in Aspen, running a reservation system for the Ski Corporation, and really having minimal financial sense in my experiences. Smartly, we worked through what would be most valuable to me, accounting or economics. I know some might say both, but I needed to focus on one thing that would help my ambitions to start and run companies. He worked to make sure I not only succeeded in accounting, but kept me from sussing out in economics, which was probably more important to the school. His value, his charm, his practical guidance allowed me to have started and so far in life opened 4 companies and a 5th soon in the works right now. So as we move forward, we all carry this legacy of his forward, and toast to glass once again, as always, to him and his wonderful teachings.
During my second year at Darden, C. Ray Smith contacted me about a project that could use my help. A company in Orange, Virginia, named Gardner Iron and Steel was looking for an SBA loan with a local bank. Gardner Iron and Steel had suffered losses over the previous years and was unable to repay its current loan to the bank. Was I thrilled when the SBA and the bank relied on my analysis to approve the $200,000 loan to Gardner Iron and Steel. I'm very thankful to C. Ray Smith for assigning me a project that I was capable of handling.
I remember the most about C. Ray was just his welcoming and friendly personality. It really meant a lot to me when he invited our study group over to his house at the beginning of our time at Darden. It was just a nice gesture that made me feel important and that he really cared about my success. And my study group ended up staying together for all 2 years at Darden, and it really probably was the reason that I was successful there. So thank you, C. Ray.
I guess I've had a number of nicknames over the years. One that did last for quite a while, and actually today I still get called occasionally, was Cool Ray. Cool Ray was a brand of sunglasses. It didn't come from me wearing sunglasses. I wear sunglasses most of the time now, but I didn't then. I think it was just because I was a cool cat.
All these years since 1956, I never met a better man than C. Ray Smith. He had talents. He was gifted with talents that he hewn into diverse and excellent skills that meant the world to everyone he ever met, to anyone he ever helped, and anyone he ever helped was in multitudes. My hat's off, and has been for years, to C. Ray. And you know, with all the talents he had and his ability to hew them into real skills, it was amazing. But beyond that, Ray had the spirit. And I'm going to read something that I think he lived up to wonderfully. It is not what we give, but what we share. For the gift without the giver is bare. He who shares himself with his alms feeds three: the given, himself, and me. Words of Alfred Lord Tennyson.